Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I'm going to talk about, are covert narcissists loners? Do you think that these people can be loners or they're loners? Well, we're going to get into it today. Let me just say this. Covert narcissists will always try to portray the opposite of who they truly are. Okay? Like they try to portray they're kind, humble, gentle people, right? And they also will try to portray that they're loners as well, okay? Because they don't want you to know what they're doing, all right? They try to play that they're innocent. They'll say something like, oh, I just got on this dating app. Oh, I don't know how to change my relationship status, all right? They do all these kind of things. Meanwhile, they've been on the dating app like forever, and they've been on every dating app. But the funny thing is, when you meet that covert narcissist, they're going to portray that they are so innocent. Some of them will even portray, oh, I'm celibate. I haven't had sex in like 3 years or something like that. Meanwhile, they just had sex with someone before they came and saw you, okay? So they fool a lot of people because generally a covert narcissist is more on the quiet side. People sometimes misjudge them. They think they're shy, but they're the farthest thing from shy, all right? And the other thing, too, is covert narcissists. Some people say, there's misinformation out there that says, oh, covert narcissists can yell and scream. And I did a whole podcast on this that I'm going to drop really soon, refuting all of this and explaining all of this, all right? Because covert narcissists, they're basically, under the radar. This is what they are. They're under the radar. So covert narcissists always have to have something going on. They're extremely anxious people. They don't generally sit still. They always have to be doing something or into something, all right? So when you met that covert narcissist, 99.9% of the time, they were talking to somebody when you first met them, whether you realize it or not. But they'll never tell you that because they're always going to portray that, they've been alone so long and thank God you walked into their life, all right? This is how they love bomb you. Oh, God sent you into my life. I can't believe I met the one, right? Meanwhile, they've been out with 1,000 of the supply, right? So they are not loners. Covert narcissists generally are not loners. They always have something going on. And so when you meet them, you're going to think like they're innocent and all of that, when in fact, they're shady as hell, okay? They are shady as hell. So covert narcissists always have to have something going on. And a lot of times, they're still talking to their exes, all right? They may say they're broken up, but they're still talking to their exes because they don't like to let go of anything. They may be on a break with their ex, all right? And here comes the covert narcissist telling you they're single when they're not. They may be technically single, and some of them not technically single, but you're thinking you're meeting them, they're fresh, you're pursuing a relationship with them when they are triangulating, okay? So covert narcissists love to triangulate. They always like to have another person on the side. When you meet that covert narcissist, they always have somebody else around, all right? Now, that doesn't necessarily have to mean it's a romantic interest. That could be their family. That could be a close friend. That could be a coworker. So when you get involved with the covert narcissist, you're not just getting involved with a covert narcissist. You're getting involved with the covert narcissist and their entourage, all right? That could be their toxic family because they always keep their toxic family close and they're always gossiping behind your back. Understand this. That covert narcissist is always gossiping behind your back, all right? Notice this. When they're gossiping about other people, if they come to you and they're gossiping about other people, then you have to know that they're definitely going to be gossiping about you, or they will in the future, all right? So you're not just dealing with the covert narcissist. You're dealing with the covert narcissist and their entourage, the people that validate them. They're flying monkeys, all right? So they are never, ever alone, never alone, because they don't work alone. They need that validation from other people. And they will get these people involved in your relationship. Every time you have a fight with the covert narcissist, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to run to someone else, their entourage, their family, their friends, their coworkers, or maybe a situationship somewhere that you don't know about, talking about you, okay? So a lot of them have situationships all over the place. Some of them have situationships like in every state or even internationally, and you don't know about it. They tell you they're traveling, they're going on work, or they're going to visit relatives or family and stuff like that. And they have other things going on. They have other people that they're seeing. All right. You're thinking they're a loner. A lot of times, you know what they do? I'm going to tell you what they do. They tell you, oh, I'm going on vacation, but I'm going by myself. They are never going on vacation by themselves. You're thinking, oh, they're a loner. They're just taking some time to themselves, blah, blah, blah. Or they may tell you, I can't see you this weekend because, I need to be by myself. I'm a little sad. I'm a little depressed. They are playing you. Da-da. Okay? They are playing you because they are not alone. Believe me when I tell you, they're not sitting home crying on the couch or, watching TV or reading a book. No. The minute that they tell you they can't see you, they are seeing someone else or going to see someone else. This is how they operate. But people believe everything that comes out of their mouths. You guys, you got to look deeper into somebody. Don't believe everything that comes out of someone's mouth. Now, before I continue, I wanted to remind you guys about my book on Amazon that I had done called Regain Your Power. It's all about regaining your power. You could read it on Amazon with Kindle's free trial membership. Go to tinyurl.com/regain your power. Again, that's tinyurl.com/regain your power. Or just go on Amazon and do a search for Regain Your Power, and you'll see my book there, all right, from Yaz's place. And it tells you all about how to regain your power in relationships. It's a short little book, easy to read, quick, all right? So if you need, information on how to get your power back in relationships, check it out, all right? Now, moving back to talking about how covert narcissists are not loners, understand this. When you deal with a covert narcissist, you will always be triangulated, all right? They love triangulation, and they will also use it against you. They may say something like, oh, now I see why your mother doesn't talk to you, or I see why your brother doesn't talk to you, or, oh, I see why your ex left you or something like that. All of this is triangulation. They're bringing other people in to discredit you and make you think that there's something wrong with you. And they also triangulate people. They triangulate their exes with the new supply. So they are never alone, okay? They're going to badmouth their exes to the new supply. And they may hoover their exes, and if they have a certain type of relationship, they may even, smear the new supply to their exes. Okay? So they're constantly triangulating, but they're never alone. These people are never alone, but they will pretend that they're alone. Like I remember one time I was dating a covert narcissist, and it was the funniest thing because he would say something to me like, on the holidays, I'm always alone. It's okay though. I don't mind being alone. I'm kind of a loner type of person. All right. This is the story he told me. And it was like the biggest bullshit because he was all over the place. This guy was all over the the place. I found out later that he was on Tinder. He was dating a bunch of people at once. All right. But this is what they portray, that they're a loner. Oh, I really don't like to go out much. This is what they tell you. I really don't like to go out much. Meanwhile, they're going out all the fucking time. All right. You think, they're not doing anything, but they're doing plenty. They even do things early in the mornings. A lot of these covert narcissists cheat in the early morning, all right? I knew a female covert narcissist who used to always cheat in the morning. She used to call over this guy that she, used to hook up with. Meanwhile, she had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend's friend contacted me, and he's like, oh, have you seen so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. She's not picking up her phone. And I didn't even know what she was doing because she didn't even tell me at the time. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she's sleeping. Sometimes she sleeps late. Well, no. Later on, she told me after they broke up, she said, oh, I was having this other guy over in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, I thought you were sleeping and everything like that. No, this is what they do, but they play like they're a loner, they're home, they're not doing anything. They play the poor me, the poor pathetic me, all right? But whatever that covert narcissist is portraying, they're the exact opposite. Understand this. This is why they portray, I want to get married. I want a house with 2.5 kids, and you're my soulmate. And I know, God brought you to me. Okay. These are all the things they say to you. I'll love you unconditionally. Right. Meanwhile, that covert narcissist doesn't want those things. They don't want to be locked into a relationship and get married unless they absolutely have to. And some covert narcissists do end up getting married for the supply, understand that, but it's because they're getting a big benefit. Maybe you have money, or maybe, you're very young and they want to lock you down or something like that. But even if they do get married, they're still doing what they want on the side. They're not alone, okay? So that is a fallacy. Covert narcissists are not alone. And they're not just sitting home, bored on the couch. The minute you walk out that door, you go to work or something, they're on their phones, they're on social media, they're chit-chatting away, they're smearing you to their family. They are not alone. They've got their entourage. So when you think of covert narcissists, just think of entourage. Now, they may not have close friends, but a lot of them have a lot of acquaintances. These are people that, they, hi, how are you? This and that. The neighbors next door, the people at the gym, whatever, the people at their school or where they work. But they have a hard time holding on to close friendships because they are such a lousy friend. But they have a lot of acquaintances, all right? People that they talk to. So they're not alone. They're always hitting up this one, hitting up that one, jumping all over the place. So don't ever believe that they are, alone. They're sad. They're not doing well, because they'll always have something or someone around. Always, you guys. They'll always have something or someone around. You'll even know it when you're on the phone with them. You may be on the phone with the covert narcissist and you hear clicking and they say, oh, that's just my cousin beeping in. Meanwhile, it's another supply. Or the phone may drop suddenly and they tell you, oh, that's got to be your phone. Meanwhile, they hung up the phone because another supply was calling in. These are all the games and the tricks that they play, all right, when they're juggling a lot of supply. But no, they are absolutely, definitely not loners at all, okay? To be alone to them is like death. They'll never, ever put themselves in a position to be alone. That's why it's wrong when other influencers sit there and they say when the relationship breaks up, they're out there searching to replace you. No, they have replaced you before the relationship broke up because they were studying you. They were studying when the relationship is breaking down. They saw, that maybe you were pulling away a little bit or you were getting disgusted and they were like, I got to replace you, all right? I got to make sure I lock in that other person that I've been talking to the whole time I've been with you. I got to make sure I lock it down because this is not going to last, all right? And then by the time the relationship ends, they either discard you or you end up getting rid of them, reverse discard. They cause a reverse discard. They were sure that they had something or someone else. And like I said, it's not even necessarily a romantic interest. It could just be they always have, family that they talk to support them. Usually it's a toxic family that's validating everything they say because they'll always be more loyal to the covert narcissist than you because that's their blood, all right? So they are not alone. They are not this shy little thing. They may be quiet, but quiet doesn't mean that they're not dangerous. Some of the most dangerous people are the quietest people. Understand that, all right? Because they're not showing you their hand. And they could be, silently raging and you don't know it, all right? And that is typically how it could be with the covert narcissist. So keep that in mind. They're not alone. When you're not with that covert narcissist, you could trust and believe they are either with somebody or they are talking to somebody, all right? I'm going to tell you another story too real quick before I end this podcast. Years ago when I was dating, I was on a popular dating app, right? And I mentioned this in my other podcasts. And I had somebody that I was talking to. We were vibing really, really well, okay? And he had me on the phone for hours, all of this, right? But then things started to shift a little bit. And I noticed like he wasn't really talking much, or he said he had to go or something. And I remember talking to one of my girlfriends, the one who ended up being a covert narcissist that I found out as well. And I said, he had me on the phone for hours and now, I'm not hearing from him or something like that. And she's the one who said to me, go on the app. I bet he's on the app. And sure enough, he was on the app because some of the apps show when somebody's online or something. And he was on the app for a long time. Okay. So basically, this is what these covert narcissists do. They waste your time. Okay. Chit-chatting, misleading you, making you think they're so into you. And then all of a sudden they turn off and they're chit-chatting with somebody else, but they're lying and gaslighting you and telling you they're going to bed. Oh, I'm tired. I'm going to bed. Meanwhile, you go on the app or you go on Facebook Messenger and you see that they're not going to bed. And then they gaslight and they say, oh, the Facebook Messenger light, that thing doesn't go off. Okay. You know how many times I've heard that from narcissists? It is the biggest, they are running game on you. Period. Dot. End of story, you guys. All right. When they say that and they're chit-chatting on Messenger. All right. Because if they're off the app for like 15, 20 minutes, the light goes off, all right? It closes out, but they'll say, oh no, it never closes out. I don't know why that happens with Facebook. All right. Meanwhile, they're on the Facebook inbox all night long, searching, hunting for supply, chit-chatting away, all right? They just fucking love it, all right? So, but again, the covert narcissist plays this little timid, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. It was a rough day at work. I'm not feeling good about things. I'm a little sad. I'm a little depressed. Meanwhile, you're like, okay, I hope, everything will be all right. We'll talk tomorrow. And boom, they'll be on the app. Hey, baby, how you doing? Oh, you look sexy today. Okay. So no, they are not loners and they're not sitting there, reading a book on the couch. No fucking way. They're not doing that, you guys. So trust and believe if they're not talking to you, they are most definitely talking to someone else or seeing someone else. I hope that helps you. If it does, please share the video, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out that link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. If you're confused, you don't know if you're dealing with a narcissist, what type of narcissist they are, and you need clarity, you need advice, check it out, okay? Link in the bio. Also, check out my YouTube, over 7,500 videos. There's a lot on my channel at the Game Exposed podcast. You know, I have a lot on Discard, a lot on Covert Narcissists because I know them so well, Malignant Narcissists, Triangulation, the Future Faking, the Love Bombing, the Silent Treatment, the Guilt Tripping. It's all on my YouTube channel. Just go to my channel at the Game Exposed podcast, go to the search box and do a search on the channel. Okay? Also, TikTok is the Game Exposed, and Facebook, Instagram is the Game EXP 123. And have a great day, you guys.